Okay, now we're going to do a story problem called hourly pay. If you look in your book, this is problem number 12. So let me read it now. Hopefully you have your book with you and you can follow along. Number 12 says, a consulting engineer's time is billed at $60 per hour and her assistance is billed at $20 per hour. A customer received a bill for $580 for a certain job. If the assistant worked 5 hours less than the engineer, how much time did each bill on the job? Most of the time with story problems, it's usually always helpful to simply write down the information you were given in sort of a shorthand method. So I'm going to say the engineer, when he works, he gets paid $60 per hour, and when the assistant works, it says they get paid $20 per hour. Now for this job, when they were sent the bill, they were billed a total of $580, and then it says the assistant worked 5 hours less than the engineer. So it says the assistant's time, 5 hours less means I write the engineer's time minus 5 hours. And now it asks me how much time did each bill on the job. In other words, how much time did the engineer work and how much time did the assistant work. You always define your variable by whatever they're asking for. In this case, they're asking for two different things, so I just have to choose, and I'll say let x be the amount of time the engineer worked. Therefore, I could also now write the amount of time the assistant worked would be x minus 5, because we know the assistant worked 5 hours less than the engineer. The engineer's time is x, the assistant's time is x minus 5. Now I simply want to write an equation for how much it costs for them to do this job. The engineer worked x hours and his cost was $60 per hour. So this is the amount of money it costs for the engineer to work. And now I add to it the amount of time the assistant worked, which was x minus 5, and the assistant was being paid $20 an hour. So this right here is the amount of money that the assistant had to be paid. And we know the total bill, we add those two together, is $580. So now, if I just write this out with the numbers, let me write it like this. 580 equals 60x plus 20 times x minus 5. And let me now solve for x. If I multiply out those parentheses, 580 equals 60x plus 20x minus 100. I'm going to add 100 to both sides and combine the 60x and 20x. So I end up with 680 equals 80x. And now, if I go ahead and solve for x, 680 divided by 80. Better grab your calculator. Turns out it's 8.5 hours. That means the engineer worked 8.5 hours. However, they also asked me for how much time the assistant worked. Well, we know the assistant worked 5 less hours, so the assistant would have worked 3.5 hours. Okay, so that was a pretty straightforward story problem.